Welcome to the marketplace. Tonight we're going to be having a very educative session. We have with us, of course, Hamed Hassan, and I have Swale. Of course, we're going to be telling us something about Islamic banking. What does that even mean? What should it mean to you? And how exactly are you going to be affected by it? I'm going to start with you, Hamed. Welcome to this session. As KCB Bank, what exactly is Sahel banking? Where did it come from? How is it important to people who are banking, especially Muslims, when it comes to Sharia compliance?
Thank you very much. I think Islamic banking, as you write, I can put it in a very simple context, is banking that is compliant with the Sharia principles. So as KCB, we look about inclusivity, because initially most of the Muslims were not banking because interest or riba is prohibited from the Quran and the teachings. So we wanted to avoid what we call mattress banking. From people who could not go to conventional banks because it does not conform to their Sharia principles. So that's where we started around 2014.
Right.
And operationally from 2015 we've been up to now doing quite well. Thank you.
Right, and Hamed Hassan is the head of KCB Sahel Banking. We're just going to be looking at that a little bit more. But we have Swale Osore as well, who is a Sharia manager. Swale, maybe just tell us, Sharia might be something very foreign to some of the viewers tonight. What is Sharia?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to be able to talk to our viewers, talk to our customers, that we offer Sharia compliant products. And when we talk about matters, Sharia is very wide.
Right.
But here at banking, we are looking at matters that deal with transactions. How can we be able to transact in a Sharia compliant manner? Meaning our transactions adhere to certain principles that have been outlined or espoused in the Sharia tenets. Yeah, that's what we mean about Sharia compliant. Means it's complying to principles that have been outlined in the teachings of course, of the Holy Quran and the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him.
Right, and we'll be looking at different tenets of, Sharia. What exactly does compliance mean? And maybe if you could just tell us, Hamed, when it comes to financial inclusivity, a lot of individuals don't know that Muslims usually get, different products when it comes to banking. There are things that Muslims cannot engage in. What does inclusivity mean? Sharia compliance is also quite new in the banking sector. How exactly has Sahel, tried to inject itself into the banking industry?
Thank you. I think we will start by inclusivity. We talk about the areas that you cannot participate in from financial matters as a Muslim. And we speak about prohibition of interest, the issues that prohibit gambling. We talk about issues that prohibit excessive speculation. We talk about, in terms of business, matters like tobacco, alcohol. So those are things that are not allowed in Islam. So Sharia banking basically allows you to trade in ethical, because Sharia banking is about ethical banking. It's about things that have a good social impact to the economy. You avoid things that have harm to the society. So that's where we come in strongly to ensure that we provide these solutions to our customers in issues that uphold to the ethical needs of our teachings.
Right. Hamed, a lot of people watching this might be asking themselves, well, if Muslims are doing ethical banking, are the other people doing unethical banking? What exactly is the distinction between these two? Maybe when it comes to the perspective of other people, are Muslims just trying to be special? What is this ethical banking?
Probably we'll start by answering it in this way, that for Sharia banking, we spoke about prohibition of interest.
Right.
And we talk about profit and loss sharing. So somebody will want to understand what's the difference between interest and profit. When you give money on money, you use money as a commodity.
Right.
For instance, you ask for 1 million and the bank asks you to give you 1.2 million.
Right.
The 200,000 will be treated as interest. Because money, we have sold to you money. So in Islamic or Sharia banking, we don't lend. We actually finance. In the finance, we trade. So when you want 1 million, for instance, you must state the purpose. And the purpose is, say, purchase of, let me say, a vehicle. So we will purchase a vehicle for you and resell to you. So Islam prohibits interest but allows trading. So we gain from the markup that for the vehicle we have sold to you.
Right.
So if we just give you a million and ask you for the 200, then that is not allowed in Islam.
Right.
So again, Sharia banking is not only for Muslims. So it's not correct to say that the other people are not practicing. So we also have quite a number of people who believe in this concept.
Right.
Even the non-Muslims, a bigger percentage also, who still enjoy these services because it's open to all.
Right, it's open to all.
Yes.
Now, Swale, Hamid has said something very interesting.
Yes.
He said that we do not treat money as a commodity. We do not trade
Exactly.
in finances, but we do trade in other things. So Islamic banking makes that possible for you.
Yep.
But, you know, Islamic rules and regulations are also different in different schools of thought, right?
Exactly.
When it comes to scholars, especially in Kenya, there are tenets that some scholars might think is correct, some that they think is not correct. Where is the distinction and how is it different in different banks?
Thank you very much for that particular observation. To me, I would say it is a difficult question,
Right.
because of the divergent views of the scholars about the proposition.
Right.
But our take is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, chapter 2, verse 270, has stated clearly that He has prohibited riba, that is interest,
Right.
but He has permitted trading.
Right.
And this particular aspect now, we look at it from perspective of how are we able to trade.
Right.
That is the best element that we have to look at. Therefore, you look at the schools of thought, all of the schools of thought agree that actually trade is permitted.
Right.
The only difference comes in how do you do it, maybe. Maybe the process could differ. Yeah, that's just like the same way we do maybe in the banking sector, that you could come for working capital.
Right.
Working capital, I've decided to give you cash equity to go and invest in your business, then you're able to share the profits.
Right.
And the scholars say this is the best model of doing business, in that we're able to invest and then we're able to share the proceeds at the end of the tenure that we have agreed, either monthly or bi-monthly or after 3 months or
Right.
so. But again, there are those scholars who see the best model is the buying and the selling, in that the institution has to purchase the goods and then they sell to you. And then you're able to on-sell these particular goods and then make profit and then be able to pay back to the institution. So it depends on which model as a bank you see it's suitable for you
Right.
in relation to the Sharia principles, because the Sharia principles, they're very wide.
Right.
So you decide. Of course, we have a Sharia advisory council
Right.
that advises the bank,
Right.
so that to be able to say these particular products are Sharia compliant or not. So it depends on which school of thought you want to take. That is possible to bring in the Sharia principles and also be able to meet the customer needs at the end of the day, because we're here to serve the customer
Right.
in a Sharia compliant manner.
Right. Swale, there comes, the balancing of ensuring that your customers get the services that they need and ensuring that, of course, everything you do is, to the liking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes.
Maybe if you could just tell us, of course, KCB needs to have an edge because other banks are also offering Islamic, financial services.
Exactly.
What is the edge that KCB has?
Oh, good. That's a very good question. The edge definitely is that KCB Bank has branches countrywide.
Right.
We are reachable. In each and every town center that you'll go, KCB, you'll get a KCB Bank branch.
Right.
And in this KCB Bank branch, when you walk into it, you're able to be offered a Sharia compliant product.
Right.
Right at the doorstep where you are. In any town center you move in, you're able to be served in a Sharia compliant manner. But we have other banks but they do not have the reach or they don't have the network that we have.
Right.
We have agents across the country. We have branches across the country. We are even available on the platforms, the apps. On the mobile app, you're able to trade. You're even able to do the internet banking just at the comfort of your bedroom, at the comfort of your office.
Right.
We are able. So these particular services that are there, they're able to make us have an edge over the other players in the market. And also we are liquid. We have quite a number of money that we can able to give you. In fact, you realize that at times when somebody goes to get maybe $1 billion or $2 billion from a small bank, it could be difficult.
Right.
But at KCB Bank, because of the large asset book, we are able to finance a customer into billions.
Right.
Yeah, so that is actually the edge that we have over the other banks that are also playing in the market.
Right. I'm sure a lot of Gen Z Muslims and even non-Muslims right now are really getting into this because the comfort of my bed, that seems like it's so convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe if you could just tell us, when it comes to regulations, right?
Yes.
There could be different schools of thought, and Swale has said that it doesn't matter what the school of thought says. there is a blanket rule that a lot of banking institutions still follow, but regulations don't necessarily have to follow up with Islamic banking.
Yes.
What are the regulatory challenges that you faced?
Of course, operating from a conventional system from CBK, a regulator perspective, we want to thank the regulator because there was amendments
Right.
to be able to allow Islamic banks, considering that banks are not allowed to own assets, to do trade. Now we were allowed to do that, but still there is quite a number of matters that we're engaging the regulators in terms of substantive acts to support Islamic banking in this industry.
Right.
But Kenya is ahead in the region in terms of the Sharia banking, but there is a lot of engagement still going on to make it better, and we are key stakeholders in this, together with other practitioners within the industry, to make it a success. So it's I think we have made rightful steps in the right direction. It can only be made better, especially from an investment perspective, because one of the challenges that most Sharia banks have is areas of investment.
Right.
So in Sharia compliant tools, so matters like sukuks and all that. So there's a whole segment of engagement from regulators, talk about central bank, capital market authority and all that, to harmonize this so that we can have different vehicles for investment.
Right.
That will be a key success factor.
Right.
Yes.
So regulatory bodies, policy makers, how exactly do they add on to this? Of course, some of the people within the banking sector are saying that it's a growing and budding sector, especially when it comes to Islamic banking. We go for a short breather. When we come back, more of this conversation. Don't go too far.